Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be a look at the production pack that came out today called the Grape Production Pack by Chen Ben. Or not today, sorry, this came out recently though, so I should just go off of that. But anyhow, we're going to take a look at this pack. I'm going to show you guys how to use this pack, and I'm going to show you if it's actually worth using this pack. Are you going to make any money doing this new grape production? So basically the concept behind this pack is to change the grape production a little bit, add a little bit more to it, and honestly it doesn't change it so much that it's that complicated, but I do think it's definitely important for you guys to see if it's actually worth it or not. There's a lot of production mods that come out that may not be worth it, and this might be one of them, but I'm not going to disclose that until we get to the very end here. So we'll go ahead and talk about if it's worth it here as we go. So on this Grape Production mod, as we go through this, I should also note that I'm not going to give a super in-depth tutorial on how to use production facilities. Essentially, you take an input, put it into a building, and you're to get an output out. I'm going to explain how to use these production buildings in terms of that, and go from there. But yeah, so what is in this pack? Well, there are some production buildings. There's one of the new ones there, another new one there, and then there's that guy over there. Those are the three new production buildings that are in this pack. And then we also have these two sell points over here. I do have the standard Grape Production unit placed down right here just for comparison. So let's take a look at these inside the store here real quick. So under buildings, we go to production. Under factories here, this is the standard grape processor, which you can see has grapes as an input and then raisins as grape juice as an output. Now, if we scroll down further down here, we have these two guys right here, or excuse me, these three guys down here at the very end. So this guy right here is the new beefy production unit. This guy right here, it's going to run you $200,000 to buy. So it is quite a bit more. So that is something to note as well when you're considering if this is actually worth doing. However, you're going to put your grapes in, and now we have two new products in here in addition to the grape juice and raisins. We have grape seeds and grape must, which we'll talk about those as we get going here. Now, finally, we have these two oil mills right here, and I have taken a look at both of these. We have this guy right here, and then we also have this guy over here. We will take a look at them both out there, but these, in terms of production, quantity, and everything that you can do with them, they're the same. These are essentially replacing the base game oil mill, which is going to be this guy right here, where this intakes sunflowers, canola, and olive oil, or olives to make olive oil, canola oil, and sunflower oil. Whereas this one's going to do the same thing. These two are going to do the same thing, except now we're going to intake grape seeds to make grapeseed oil, which is another new product. So again, we're going to take a look at that. Oh, and then finally, I guess I should say as well, if we go back in here under production, under sell points, go down to the very end, we have two farmers markets, which depending on what style you want, you have these two guys right here, which basically serve as a sell point. It's going to add all those new products and take some other products that are already in the game as well. So just something to note there. Now, in terms of the sell points, all you're going to do to take these products, you're going to make it any of these points here and come and put them onto this icon right here, and they will sell off for you. Same thing right here. This is where the icon's at. Just dump them off here. And I really like this farmer's market, honestly. This mod is almost worth downloading, even if you didn't want to use it for anything else other than the farmer's market that comes with it. This is a really cool farmer's market, so well done. But yeah, so we're not going to worry about talking about the base game grape processor. We're going to work about talking about the new ones that we have available to us. So we're going to go immediately over to this guy right here. Works very similarly. So again, this checkered area right here, this is where your pallets of product are going to spawn. So this is where your grape juice is going to spawn, and all of that stuff is going to spawn right there. Now over here, this is your input. This is where you're going to dump your grapes in. That's the only input for this factory. So you just got to put grapes in right here. And as we walk around the back side here, you can see nothing. There's just, other than just details, nothing is really changed in here or anything like that. None of this stuff opens up or anything like that. So yeah, there you go. Now if we walk up to this wrench, we hit R, it's going to take us into the production menu for this thing, which is right here. Grape processing unit. Again, grape juice and raisins is what it produces. And the raisin recipe, I should also note, is the exact same as base game. So down here at the bottom, I have the base game recipe, 1-to-1 there. No big deal. However, note this. The base game factory runs at 6,480 cycles, whereas this one runs at 14,400. So yes, this factory costs more, but it's going to work much more efficiently if you have a lot of grapes. So just something to note there. Now, in terms of productions themselves, we'll look at raisins here as an example. Just to take a look at some of the stuff that we have in here down below. If you hit this button to activate it, it'll show that it's active. It's going to be running. It's going to say materials missing pretty quick, so we haven't put any grapes in there yet. And then, of course, you always can deactivate it to show it as inactive. Down here is how many cycles per month and the production cost per month to run this production. So this is going to get billed every month for you. And then down here, this is the recipe. So this is what's going to happen every cycle, which what this is saying is 1 liter of grapes is going to go out to 1 liter of raisins. And that's going to happen 14,400 times. On the right-hand side, you can see how many grapes we have as an input, which I'm going to go ahead and just buy some. I'm using a mod called the production, or buy production input mod. Ooh, I accidentally went out of there, which allows me to buy the productions. Typically, you have to put them in yourselves. You can buy them from a bulk buy point that's on the mod hub and stuff like that if you wanted to go that way. So you can do that. Then down here, we have our outgoing products, raisins, grape juice, grape seed, and grape must. Now they're all set to storing, you can see right here. However, if I want to, down here at the bottom, I can change the output mode to selling, which means they're going to automatically sell, but you're going to take a 30-40% hit, or distributing, which is going to move them later on in the process to a different production facility that requires raisins. So for example, I believe it's cereal that requires raisins in base game. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But there are productions that require that, so you can set it to distributing if you have a cereal factory, and I'll move it there. Otherwise, it'll just hold on to it in here. We're going to change that back to storing. Grape juice, we're going to leave as storing. Grape seed, we're going to leave as storing as well, and we're just going to have those like that, just so we can take a look here. So we're going to go ahead and activate the grape juice and go ahead and fast forward some time. Now you can see for the grape juice here, 4,800 cycles per month as opposed to base game 1,296. So this is going to run a lot faster. And also, I should also note, this is going to produce with 5 liters of grapes, you're going to get 4 liters of grape juice, which is the same as the base game recipe. However, now we're adding 2 new products which you can make money off of, such as the grape must here. And then we also have the grape seed right here. So that is really kind of the main benefit here, which is really cool. I think this is really cool that they actually added in some additional products like that to this here, because I think that adds a lot there, which is pretty cool. So we're going to take a look at that and take a look at how that's going to affect some of the profit and everything like that. And you can see it's already starting to produce some things. So if we just back out here, we're going to go and just fast forward some time real quick. All right, so as you can see here, I fast forwarded some time. We have some new products out here. Again, you can't lift these with your bare hand. You can see this here has grape must in it. We have grape must in that guy. And then, here we go. We have some grape seed here as well. So you can see all the different pallets here. How many liters here? Let's take a look here. This one is 550 liters of grape seed, so not a lot in there. We have our standard pallets of grape juice, 432 liters apiece, and then a grape must pallet is going to have 1,000 liters of grape must. So there we go. That's how we get all of our products out there. They're spawning in there. That's what they're supposed to do. We're going to go in there and just go ahead and deactivate that bad boy for right now. So now we've kind of talked about that. Let's go take a look at this oil mill, which we have over here. So I want to look at both of these really briefly. So as you can see right here, this is where you're going to put your inputs in. This is where your pallets are going to spawn. And then we also have access to the factory itself by hitting this wrench right here. And it's going to take us into this factory directly, which we'll talk about that in a second. Nothing else around it. Nothing crazy like that. Easy peasy inputs and outputs. Over here, this factory is going to work the exact same. We have a wrench right here to activate this factory to hop into it right there. Over here, we have our pallet spawn point here, and this is where we're going to put our inputs in right there. Now, if you did want to move one of these pallets over there, it'd be really easy to do so. Use a forklift or anything like that. I am on PC, so I'm going to activate super strength to allow me to be able to lift it, but we're going to take this pallet of grape seed here, and we're just going to dump it in this factory here. You can see here, slowly going down. It's just going to go in there until it's gone. And just like that, we got grape seed in there. Now, I didn't have to do that because I can go in here, and if I look down at this factory, you can see grape seed in here. And I have that magical mod that allows me to buy more grape seed if I want to, so I can just buy some grape seed if I'd like to, as much as I'd like. I'm using the buy production input mod. Now, in terms of both these oil mills, they both run the same in terms of everything. Now, actually, one thing I am curious, if you're going to use the oil mill to do some of the other oils in there, let me place down one of the... My game will load. There we go. One of the base game oil mills just right next door for comparison here. And the reason I want to do that, so this is the base game for sunflower oil, 4,800 cycles at that. Same as this one. Oh, 9,600s here. So these oil mills are actually going to run more effectively as well. So I want to check that. Yeah, 96 for all those, 6,000 for olives, 48, and then 2,400 there. So yeah, this is a much better oil mill if you want to use it, even if you're not doing the grapeseed oil. It's going to produce all the other oils a lot faster. But let's focus on the new product we have here, which is grapeseed oil, which is what we want to do. So cycles per month, 6,000 cycles, so 6,000 times per month. And again, what that means per month is if you're running 1-day months, then that's going to happen every day. If you're running 3-day months, it's going to happen every 3 days, and so on and so forth. So just to kind of note that. So let's take 2 liters of grape seed, and it's going to give us 1 liter of grapeseed oil right here. Set to storing. That's fantastic. It's all good to go up here, or this one down here actually has it in there. So again, I'm going to go ahead and activate that. Everything else works like every other production chain. So this is going to go ahead and hopefully start producing some stuff for me here. So we fast forward some time. I'll do it with you guys in here. Let's do that real quick. It should start spawning. You can see we got some pallets over there, but I'm going to get us to where we actually can see what we're doing outside. So there we go. Right we have right here is some grape seed oil. Beautiful. 1,000 liters per pallet. I can lift them because I have super strength on. Otherwise, you're going to have to use a pallet fork. But there you go. That's how you produce all the stuff in this pack. And again, if you wanted to sell any of these, all you have to do, just like anything else, is you just have to take it over to a sell point, which I'm just going to do real quick just to demonstrate it. If I get right over top of here, it's going to sell off for us. And just like that, we sold it off. $5,648, not bad. We're going to take a look now at the profitability of this. So Up on your screen right now, you're seeing a chart. That chart is kind of talking about some of the profitability here. Now, we're taking a look at a few things here. First off the top, it says I'm using the Steam price sheet for pricing. So for all of the products that are in base game in this list, I'm using what's called the Steam price sheet, which is linked down below in the description. It's pricing that's pulled from the XML of the game, which obviously can change depending on what map you're on, but in general, it's pretty accurate. So that's what I'm going off of. And all of the numbers I'm using are listed down below for prices used. You can see down there for the grapes, grape juice, grape seed, grape must, and grape seed oil. And it's telling you where I'm getting them on the right side. So for grapes and grape juice, getting from the Steam price sheet. For grape seed, grape must, and grape seed oil, that's the best price on this map in a 12-month period. So that's the price I'm using for those. If you're getting different prices on your map, you can plug in different numbers. Really easy to do. Now, if we take a look at the product, grape juice, grape seed, and grape must, it's kind of interesting on this one, actually, the way I had to do it. So the input is just grapes, but there's 3 outputs. So I have 3 different output points there. So what I'm looking at with that input cost is if you took those grapes and you sold them, instead of putting them in here, that's how much you would make. Because I want to take a look at, is it actually worth putting grapes into this machine? So there we go. We put $5.42 worth of grapes into it for 1 cycle. This is again by the cycle. And then we have an output for grape juice. You can sell it for $11.52. The grape seed is worth 57 cents and the grape must is worth $1.55, totaling a profit of $8.22 per cycle. And then if we go to grape seed oil down there, so we're taking those the grape seed, instead of selling the grape seed, which instead of selling it for $1.14, those 2 liters of grape seed, we can make $6.22 worth of grape seed oil, giving us a profit of $5.08, which is great. So we are making some pretty good money off of these things, actually, and pretty good profit margins here. So definitely recommend doing it. I also put on that very bottom row grape juice, the grape juice from the base game. That's the base game recipe. So you're only making $6.10 per cycle off of the base game recipe versus you're making more if you put your grapes into this machine. So I highly recommend using this factory if you're going to do grapes. And honestly, it makes more profitability out of grapes, which I think is something that needed to be done anyways, personally. Down below, you can see obviously all the prices that we use there. And then down below that, profit per month for grape juice. If you're running that grape juice recipe from this mod, you're going to make about $39,456 per month if you have it constantly running with materials. And then the grape seed oil, if you have that constantly running with materials, you're going to be making about $30,000 per month. So if you're running both of them, you could potentially make $69,000 or so per month, if not more. Now, if you're running the base game grape juice factory, you're only making about $8,000 per month. That's because it takes a lot less cycles, so it doesn't run as much as the other factory does, and you're not making as much profit off of it. So a few reasons for that. But there you guys go. That is just kind of a comparison, so definitely worth it. Make sure you guys check this mod pack out by Chen Ben. Very well done. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn your notification bells so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and for watching.